Hi, I'm Bobbie. I'm with Words on Wheels. And if you're at this site, you've been watching a lot of wonderful, awesome volunteers reading books to your babies, to your toddlers, to your preschoolers, and that's awesome. I'm going to read a story also, but today I'm going to talk to you a bit about why it's important to read to our toddlers and how you can go about doing that. So I'm talking this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you are watching, to the moms, to the dads, to the mommies, the poppies, the grandmas and grandpas, the abuelitas, abuelitos, tíos y tías, the aunts and uncles, hermanas y hermanos, the brothers and sisters. They may be in your home. They may be part of your more selective, quieter place to be, and they may be reading those stories to your toddler. So why do we read to toddlers? It's an early symbolism. We want babies and toddlers to start to understand that words on a page can represent real actions, real experiences that they have, and that they can work within that understanding to start to build on their symbolic reasoning. So I've made some notes and I'm going to be looking down at them so that I make sure that I remember everything I wanted to tell you. Your books that you provide for them should have lots of experiences that are similar to what they're experiencing. And so for babies, you want books that they can handle and books that they treat with respect, and babies do those kinds of things. For toddlers, you want more books that they can handle. And you want books that represent their real experiences. So for instance, this amazing book called The Tree in the Ancient Forest, which has a lot of repetition in it, and a toddler starts to really be able to predict what's going on with that. I live near an ancient forest. And so my grandchildren, this is a real book. This is a book that reflects their experiences camping with me, going out to see the big trees, and it's an important book. If you are living in a city and you don't have an ancient forest, this is probably not the book you're going to choose. Toddlers love to have fun with their books and to have fun with the stories. And so if you've been reading The Three Little Pigs to your toddler, maybe it's time to introduce The Three Little Wolves and The Big Bad Pig, which is full of humor and things like pneumatic drills and barbed wire and all kinds of things that they will see in their lives if they live in the city. And this might be a fun, playful thing for you to do with your toddler. Toddlers also are at an age where you can start to introduce issue books for them. If you've got a new baby coming, a book like All the Places to Love, which has extremely gorgeous illustrations of a new baby and being a big brother and being out with mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa, could be a good book to start you in a conversation about those kinds of things. When you're reading to a toddler, you want to trace the words along the page so that they're starting to get that concept that those words that are there that you're pointing to mean the same thing as what you're saying out loud. There's other wonderful things you can do. You can make an obstacle course for your little one, because crawling still is important for toddlers, even when they're walking. It's that oppositional movement that's an important pre-reading skill. If you stack left to right, just so the children start to learn to understand what left to right is all about. And now is the time to start talking to them about the front of the book, the back of the book, the person who wrote the words, the person who drew the pictures or took the photographs. There's one thing that we always tend to do that really does not help literacy skills. They don't need to memorize the alphabet song in order to learn to read. In fact, those letters really help us as grown-ups. I don't know any grown-up that when they are filing isn't singing to themselves, H-I-J-K comes after J. And so that sequence of letters is important for grown-ups. It's less important for a child who's learning to read and needs to understand that the letters become a word and the word stands for something. I want to ask you about your memories of reading to children and being read to, and think about how you can bring those positive experiences to your toddler. And to remind you to create traditions: bedtime, bath time, waking up from nap, before we leave in the morning, once we leave in the morning again. And if you're playful with your little ones, they'll enjoy and become avid readers as well. I want to introduce you to Timothy. Timothy, your shirt is pulled up. I'm going to fix it. Timothy is about 18 months old. He's very small for 18 months, but he's about 18 months old. And so we're going to read a book that is important and a part of his life right now, because Timothy's at the age where kids sometimes start to get nightmares. And so we're going to read the story about the nightmare in my closet. Timothy, this is a story about a nightmare. This story, we're starting at the beginning of the storybook, and the person who wrote this story is Mercer Mayer, and she drew all the pictures too. She did all the words and all the pictures, all of them. And here's the story. Wow, look at the wind is blowing through there, right through that open window. And he is saying to us, there used to be a nightmare in my closet. Oh, look at that closet door's open. Is there a nightmare in there? Before going to sleep, I always close the closet door. Look, he's sneaking out there to slam that door. I see a rocking horse, and I see some toy soldiers. After he slammed that closet door, I was even afraid to turn around and look. He's sneaking back to bed. When I was safe in bed, I'd peek. Sometimes he just covered his head with a blanket. He didn't want to see it all. One night, I decided to get rid of my nightmare once and for all. Boy, he's ready too. Look, he's got his gun and his cannon and his airplane and his tricycle, all those things that he plays with. He is ready for that nightmare. As soon as the room was dark, I heard him creeping toward me. Look, here he comes. Here he comes. Quickly, I turned on the light and caught him sitting at the foot of my bed. Go away, nightmare, or I'll shoot you, I said. Oh, he's not kidding. He's going after that nightmare. I shot him anyway. My nightmare began to cry. Oh, poor nightmare. I was mad, but not too mad. Not too mad. What do you think he's thinking? I mean, because the nightmare's crying. Poor nightmare. Nightmare, be quiet or you'll wake Mommy and Daddy, I said. He wouldn't stop crying, so I took him by the hand and I tucked him in bed. The nightmare's in bed. He's looking very scared and sad. And close the closet door. I suppose there's another nightmare in my closet, but my bed's not big enough for 3. Oh, he's gonna stay in bed. Look, there's another nightmare, but there's no room in the bed. The end. That's the end of this story. And I hope you enjoyed reading it with me. And I hope I gave you some helpful tips on reading with your own little ones. Have a wonderful time with them. This time goes by so quickly.